The first time Maya heard about the woman in the woods, she was unpacking boxes in her new cottage on Willow Lane. Her neighbor, Mrs. Patterson, had appeared at the door with a casserole and a grave expression. "Whatever you do, dear, don't go near the old Miller house," the elderly woman had whispered, glancing toward the dense trees that bordered Maya's property. "That's where she lives." Maya had laughed it off at first. She'd moved to Greenbrook to escape the noise and judgment of the city, to heal from a painful divorce that had left her feeling hollowed out. Small-town gossip seemed quaint compared to what she'd endured. But the warnings kept coming. At the grocery store, the cashier mentioned the dangerous woman who lives alone. At the coffee shop, conversations hushed when Maya asked about hiking trails. Everyone had a story. She'd attacked a delivery driver, practiced dark magic, lured men into the forest never to return. Maya had never seen her, but the image built in her mind, wild-eyed, predatory, something barely human. 3 weeks into her new life, Maya's golden retriever, Pepper, slipped his collar during their evening walk. She called his name frantically as he bounded into the woods, his excited barks growing distant. The sun was setting fast, painting the forest floor in amber shadows. "Pepper!" Maya pushed through brambles, her heart racing. The town's warnings echoed in her mind, but her dog was everything to her, the one constant companion through her darkest days. She emerged into a clearing just as twilight deepened to dusk. There stood a weathered cabin with smoke curling from its chimney. And there, on the porch, sat a woman scratching Pepper behind his ears. The dog's tail wagged contentedly, betraying no fear. The woman looked up. She was younger than Maya expected, perhaps mid-30s, with dark hair pulled back and striking green eyes that held more sadness than menace. She wore simple jeans and a flannel shirt, her hands gentle on Pepper's fur. "I'm sorry," Maya stammered, approaching cautiously. "He got away from me." "He's sweet," the woman said softly, her voice like honey and smoke. "What's his name?" "Pepper." Maya climbed the porch steps, her fear melting into curiosity. Up close, there was nothing frightening about this woman, only a deep loneliness that Maya recognized intimately. "I'm Natalie." The woman offered a small smile. "I'd offer you tea, but I imagine you've heard stories about accepting drinks from the witch in the woods." Maya felt heat rise to her cheeks. "I'm Maya. And I'd actually love some tea." Something flickered in Natalie's eyes, surprise, hope, perhaps disbelief. She stood slowly, as if expecting Maya to flee, then held open the cabin door. That evening, as Maya sat in the warm, book-filled cabin, she realized the most dangerous thing about Natalie might be how easily Maya could fall for her. Maya returned the next day, telling herself it was just to thank Natalie properly. She brought fresh bread from the bakery and a bottle of wine, ignoring the suspicious looks from townspeople as she made her purchases. Natalie's face lit up when she opened the door, and Maya's heart did something complicated in her chest. They sat on the porch as afternoon light filtered through the trees. Pepper sprawled between them, content as Natalie absently stroked his fur. "You want to know why they hate me," Natalie said, not quite a question. "I want to know you," Maya replied, surprising herself with her boldness. Natalie's laugh was bitter. "I had the audacity to reject Thomas Brennan." "You know him?" "Owns half the town, thinks he owns the other half too." Maya nodded. She'd met him, handsome, charming, wealthy. He'd asked her to dinner twice already. 5 years ago, he decided he wanted me. I was teaching at the elementary school, living a normal life. Natalie's fingers tightened on her wine glass. "When I turned him down, the rumors started. Little things at first, that I was strange, unstable. Then bigger things. That I'd had an affair with a married man, that I'd stolen from the school." "None of it true?" "Not a word. But truth doesn't matter when someone powerful wants to destroy you." Natalie's eyes glistened. "I lost my job. My friends stopped calling. People crossed the street to avoid me. So I moved out here, where at least the trees don't whisper about me." Maya reached over, covering Natalie's hand with her own. The touch sent electricity through her, and she saw Natalie's breath catch. I know what it's like, Maya said quietly. To be the subject of everyone's stories. My ex-husband made sure everyone blamed me for our marriage ending. Never mind that I caught him in our bed with his assistant. Natalie turned her hand over, threading their fingers together. I'm sorry. They sat like that as shadows lengthened, hands intertwined, neither willing to break the connection. When Maya finally stood to leave, Natalie walked her to the edge of the clearing. Will you come back? Natalie asked, vulnerable hope in her voice. Maya leaned in, pressing a soft kiss to Natalie's cheek. Tomorrow, she promised, feeling Natalie's sharp intake of breath against her skin. That night, Maya lay in bed thinking about green eyes and gentle hands, about the courage it took to remain soft in a world determined to make you hard. She thought about how Natalie's lips had parted slightly at that kiss, how her own body had responded with a hunger she hadn't felt in years. She fell asleep imagining what tomorrow might bring. The next afternoon, Maya arrived to find Natalie chopping wood, her flannel shirt dampened with sweat. Maya's mouth went dry watching muscles flex beneath fabric. Let me help, she offered. They worked side by side, the physical labor building a different kind of tension between them. When Natalie's hand brushed Maya's while reaching for the same log, they both froze. Maya, Natalie breathed. I should tell you. I haven't had anyone close to me in 5 years. I've forgotten how to. Maya stepped closer, until their bodies were nearly touching. How to what? How to want someone, Natalie admitted. How to be wanted back. Maya cupped Natalie's face, thumbs brushing across her cheekbones. Then let me remind you. Their first kiss was tentative, testing. Then Natalie made a small sound in her throat, and Maya deepened it, pressing Natalie back against the cabin wall. Years of loneliness and longing poured into that kiss, their bodies fitting together like missing pieces finally found. Over the following weeks, Maya found reasons to visit every day. They fell into an easy rhythm, morning coffee on the porch, afternoon walks through the woods, evenings by the fireplace with books and wine. But underneath the domestic comfort, desire simmered like a banked fire, growing hotter each day. Maya learned that Natalie was brilliant. She'd been working on a novel all these years, something beautiful and aching about isolation and hope. She learned that Natalie sang while cooking, badly but enthusiastically. She learned the exact sound Natalie made when Maya kissed that spot below her ear. Stay tonight, Natalie whispered one evening, her lips brushing Maya's neck as they slow danced to music from an old radio. Please. Maya's answer was to capture Natalie's mouth in a kiss that left them both breathless. They moved together to Natalie's bedroom, a cozy space lit only by candles. Natalie's hands trembled as she unbuttoned Maya's blouse, reverent and nervous. It's been so long, Natalie admitted. I'm afraid I've forgotten. We'll remember together, Maya promised, sliding Natalie's shirt over her head. The candlelight painted Natalie's skin golden, and Maya had never seen anything more beautiful. They explored each other slowly, learning the map of scars and sensitive places, the rhythm of gasps and sighs. When Maya kissed down Natalie's body, Natalie tangled her fingers in Maya's hair, breathing her name like a prayer. They made love with the desperation of people who'd been starved for touch, for connection, for someone to see them clearly and want them anyway. Afterward, they lay tangled together, skin cooling in the night air. Natalie traced patterns on Maya's shoulder, her expression wondering. I thought I'd never have this again, she whispered. Someone to hold. Someone who sees me. Maya kissed her forehead, her cheek, her lips. I see you, Natalie. All of you. And I'm not going anywhere. But the town, of course, noticed. Mrs. Patterson stopped bringing casseroles. At the grocery store, whispers followed Maya down the aisles. Someone left a note on her car, don't let her poison you too. Maya crumpled it and kept walking. Thomas Brennan cornered her outside the post office, his smile sharp. I heard you've been spending time with Natalie Ross. I'd hate to see another newcomer get taken in by her. Funny, Maya said coolly. She told me about you. About what you did when she rejected you. His expression darkened. Whatever lies she told you weren't lies. I recognize an abuser when I see one, Thomas. Stay away from both of us. She walked away, her hands shaking with adrenaline. That evening, she told Natalie about the encounter while they cooked dinner together, their bodies finding excuses to touch, a hand on the small of the back, fingers brushing while passing ingredients. You shouldn't have confronted him, Natalie worried. He's dangerous. Maya pulled Natalie close, kissing her until they both forgot about dinner. So am I, when someone threatens what's mine. They made love against the kitchen counter, urgent and passionate, reaffirming their connection. Later, curled in bed, Natalie whispered stories of her childhood, her dreams, all the pieces of herself she'd kept locked away. Maya held her close and whispered back her own secrets, her own scars. In the darkness, they built something precious: trust, intimacy, love. The backlash intensified. Maya's landlord, who happened to be Thomas's cousin, gave her 30 days' notice to vacate. Anonymous calls woke her at night. Someone spray-painted "Which Lover" on her car. Maya moved into Natalie's cabin without hesitation. This is what I was afraid of, Natalie said, watching Maya unpack. He's destroying your life now too. He's trying, Maya corrected, kissing Natalie's worried frown. He won't succeed. We're stronger than his petty cruelty. But privately, Maya worried. She'd started freelancing to support herself, and suddenly clients were canceling contracts. The isolation that had seemed romantic now felt oppressive. One night, unable to sleep, she found Natalie on the porch staring into the darkness. I should let you go, Natalie said softly. Before you lose everything. Maya sat beside her, taking her cold hands. I already lost everything once. My marriage, my home, my sense of self. You know what I found? That stuff wasn't me. This is me, choosing love over fear, choosing truth over lies. But your career will survive. Or I'll build a new one. Natalie, look at me. Maya waited until those green eyes met hers. You are worth it. Whatever we face together. Natalie's kiss tasted like tears and gratitude. They made love with fierce tenderness, affirming their choice, their connection. In the morning, Maya woke to find Natalie watching her with an expression so full of love it made her chest ache. I have an idea, Natalie said. But it's risky. Her idea was simple: stop hiding. If the town wanted to talk about them, let them talk. But let them see the truth. They started small. Attending the farmers' market together, holding hands despite the stares. Having coffee at the cafe, where their quiet laughter drew curious glances. Walking Pepper through town, stopping to chat with anyone who'd talk to them. Most people ignored them or whispered after they passed. But a few, a young couple, an elderly man, a middle-aged woman who'd also been divorced, offered shy smiles. You're the one who moved into the cottage on Willow, the divorced woman, Janet, said at the market. I heard, well, never mind what I heard. I just wanted to say it's nice to see someone standing up to the gossip mill. It was a small victory, but it felt enormous. Then Thomas made his move. He filed a complaint with the county, claiming Natalie's cabin violated building codes and should be condemned. He leveraged his influence, pushed through inspections, created false violations. We're going to lose the cabin, Natalie said, the eviction notice trembling in her hands. I'm going to lose my home again. Maya held her as she wept, fury building in her chest. She'd had enough. Maya spent the next week making calls, digging through public records, talking to anyone who'd listen. She discovered she wasn't the first woman Thomas had targeted. There were others, women who'd rejected him, opposed him, challenged him. A pattern of harassment spanning years. She contacted them all. On a Thursday evening, Maya organized a town hall meeting. Despite Thomas's attempts to block it, enough council members were curious to allow it. The community center filled with residents, their expressions ranging from hostile to intrigued. Natalie sat in the front row, pale but resolute. Maya had wanted her to stay home, safe, but Natalie refused. "My story," she'd said. "I'm telling it." Maya stood at the podium, heart pounding. "My name is Maya Torres. 3 months ago, I moved here for a fresh start. I was warned about a dangerous woman in the woods. Tonight, I want to tell you about the woman I actually met." She told them everything: Natalie's kindness, her intelligence, her gentle spirit. She explained how the rumors started, Thomas's role in spreading them. Then she invited the other women to speak. One by one, they came forward. A teacher who'd reported Thomas's son for cheating. A business owner who'd refused to sell her property. A young woman who'd turned down his advances. Each had a story of systematic harassment, of lives disrupted by manufactured rumors and economic pressure. The room grew quieter with each testimony, the hostility shifting to discomfort, then anger, but directed at Thomas for once. Thomas stood, red-faced. "This is ridiculous. These women are telling the truth," Janet interrupted, standing. "I've lived here 30 years. I've watched you do this over and over. We all have. We just didn't want to be next." A murmur of agreement rippled through the crowd. The local newspaper editor stood next. "I'd like to interview each of you. Officially. For publication." That night, Maya and Natalie walked home through the woods hand in hand, Pepper trotting ahead. The weight that had pressed on them for months felt lighter. "It's not over," Natalie said. "Thomas won't go down without a fight." "No," Maya agreed. "But we're not alone anymore." In bed that night, they made love with a new kind of freedom, the freedom of truth told, of shame refused, of love claimed openly. Maya mapped every inch of Natalie's body, whispering promises against her skin. Natalie returned the devotion, her touch speaking of gratitude and desire and fierce, protective love. "I love you," Natalie breathed as they moved together. "I love you so much." "I love you too," Maya gasped, pulling Natalie closer. "Always." 3 months later, Thomas left town under the weight of multiple harassment investigations. The building code violations were quietly dropped. Maya's freelance work picked up as more open-minded residents became clients. And on a Saturday afternoon, surrounded by friends they'd made, Janet, the young couple from the market, even Mrs. Patterson who'd apologized tearfully, Maya and Natalie held a gathering at the cabin. "To new beginnings," Maya toasted, her arm around Natalie's waist. "To love that refuses to hide," Natalie added, kissing Maya softly. The town never completely forgot the rumors. Some people still crossed the street, still whispered. But Maya and Natalie had something more valuable than universal approval: they had truth, and community, and each other. On quiet evenings, they'd sit on their porch, Pepper at their feet, watching the sunset paint the woods gold. Natalie would work on her novel while Maya reviewed client projects. Sometimes they'd pause to kiss, to touch, to remind each other of their luck. The dangerous woman in the woods, it turned out, was only dangerous to lies, to cruelty, to the kind of small-minded fear that tries to crush anything different. She was dangerous to anyone who thought love could be controlled or bullied into silence. And Maya? She'd never felt safer in her life.